Max Crosby trade, the Ravens in the Raiders' voice backing out of the Max Crosby trade. See, I mean, there's a lot I want to say about this, and I want to say as much as I can right now. But I probably will touch back on this like when I go on next segment. But this was on my mind, so I wanted to go ahead and just do this right now. Well, like I've been reading some stuff on this situation and watching watching some other podcasts and some other videos about it, and the fact that the Ravens just completely like back out of it, and they give excuse about Max Crosby. First, I mean, it was one surgeon that said, I think he's like one of the best surgeons in the world, and he worked on Tom Brady. He said he worked on Matt. I mean, we didn't work on Matt Crosby, but he said Matt Crosby is good, ready to go. The Ravens, they got other doctors involved, and supposedly all those other doctors, they say, according to the Ravens, Max Crosby, they didn't like what they saw out of Max Crosby. They didn't like what was on his physical, I guess, or whatever. And it's not technically a way for you to pass or fail a physical. It's pretty much go based on what the employer or what the organization that's looking over your physical, what is up to their liking. So Max Crosby's knee can be fine for all that, all we know. And he's played on this bad knee. And he wanted to keep playing, and the Raiders didn't want him to play. So I said this, I remember wrote on one of the pages. The Ravens did not back out of this trade because of Matt Crosby's knee. They backed out of this trade because they had a buyer's remorse. They did not like the fact that they gave up 2 first rounds for Max Crosby, and so they wanted to come up with an excuse, a justification of how they can back out, and they did. Something needs to happen to the Ravens for them doing this, because you can't play with like people's lives like this. Like Max Crosby, he's going to be fine. He's a warrior. He's a great player. He's going to be a Hall of Famer one day. He's well off. He's well taken care of. Whatever. He's a wealthy person, very rich. Whatever. But that doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is that what the Ravens did playing these games, bro, like we're playing with somebody's life. Like, you can't, like, Max Crosby is already programming himself the way he's wired. I'm pretty sure the second he found out he went to the Ravens, what did he do? The second he found out he went to the Ravens, he jumped on his podcast. He gave like a nearly 20-minute speech about to the Raiders Nation, thanking the Raiders, saying he was such a professional. Like, I even screen shared some of his segment about having him talking, giving his shout out and giving his farewell to Raiders Nation. I mean, Max Crosby has always been a stand-up person, always. He didn't deserve what the Ravens just did. And to be honest with you, in my eyes, and what I look at it, the Ravens just tarnished their legacy. I think everybody who's watches football, who's familiar with the NFL, prior to what they did to Max Crosby, the Ravens was always a stand-up type of organization. They were always that type of organization that done things right. The type of organization, a franchise that all franchises wanted to be. It was like New England, maybe even Seattle, Kansas City, the Eagles, those type of franchises. Those were like Pittsburgh, definitely Pittsburgh. Those were like historically great franchises, stand-up franchises. The Ravens just tarnished their legacy. What they just did was dirty, man. I hear some analysts trying to act like, oh, it was the physical. If nothing was on paper, then it's not. If nothing was written, then it's not that. It doesn't. They're pretty much saying it doesn't matter. I mean, that's BS, man. That's BS. Here's another thing. If it was really about his knee, first off, everybody knew Max Crosby has been having issues with his knee. The Ravens knew this. My thing is, why not find all of this stuff out before you even get in talks for Max Crosby? That's just bad business. Even if it was his knee, let's just say it was for his knee. Let's say it was his knee. That's still bad business, because you should have found out everything about a player before you're going to give up 2 first rounds for him. Before you even trade for him, a great GM is going to have all records, all documentation, everything on a player before you even try to even reach out to trade for him. So the Ravens, if that was the case, that's terrible on the Ravens organization. That's terrible case on for the Ravens, because you didn't do your homework. You didn't do your research. So I mean, yo, like the Ravens just pissed me off with that. Thank God I'm not a Ravens fan. I can only imagine how the Ravens fan base is feeling right now. Well, from the GM, from the owner to the GM, all the way to the damn head coach. I mean, you can't tell me. I mean, Jesse Minter more than likely has something to do with this too. You know, all that everybody who's in charge there, us players aside, everybody should be held accountable. The Ravens should lose some draft picks, should be fined or something. I don't know, but what they did was shady as hell. It was shady. It was shady to the Raiders organization. If I was Tom Brady, I would never do business with the Baltimore Ravens ever again. Ever. I will never do business with the Ravens again. Like how Tom Brady got bad remorse against New England, I will have bad remorse. I will even have greater remorse to the Baltimore Ravens. Like they just tarnished their legacy. What they did was ridiculous. And I hope Max Crosby doesn't like somehow, because somebody was talking about maybe he could still go back. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. You know, something needs to be done for the Baltimore Ravens, and I'll probably talk more about it. I'll do more research to see, but I don't care if it was his knee or not. They should not have traded for him, but without having full information. And teams can't get, and the NFL needs to step in and needs to block teams from doing this, because apparently it seems like teams can all teams who has been trading for these players, they can all back out from these trades. So that's ridiculous, man. These players, like, you're playing with these guys' lives. Like, these guys, they get a call, like, oh, you're getting traded to New England, and you're playing for Tampa Bay, or you're playing all the way across the country. You're playing, and you're playing for the 49ers, and then you got to tell your family, or you got to move out and start making some calls and start scheduling and preparing to go play across the country. And then all of a sudden, the team is like, oh, we backing out. No, something needs to be done. Teams should not just be able to do this. And that's pissing me off. Like how, like, well, I ain't gonna say how the NFL is treating these players, but it's pissed me off how what the Ravens did. And I mean, this better not be the last thing I hear about it, because the NFL should do something. Because I mean, I feel sorry for Max Crosby, because now I don't even know. Like, I mean, I can only imagine what he's doing right now. I mean, I can only imagine how he's feeling. And I mean, I think everybody in Vegas right now is pissed off because of what's going on. And so, yeah, that's all I had to say right now. I'll touch more bases on this, but I felt like I needed to jump on real quick and get that off my chest, because the Ravens is dirty as hell. And like, for real, they dirty as hell. I hope they lose every single game. I already told y'all that they weren't even going to do nothing much anyway. Like, I already told y'all, I like the fact that I knocked on them. I got on them early before, because first off, I didn't even think the Jesse Minter hire was even all that great, because I'm like, he's a defensive coach. We don't even know if he's going to be that great of a head coach. We don't know. He may or may not. He may pull off a Mike Macdonald, but again, he may be like a Robert Saleh, just great defensive coordinator, terrible head coach. So we don't know. So that's already like a question mark right there. And then they have a first year offensive coordinator. You know what I'm saying? And so it's a lot. The Ravens have a lot of work to do. And so this is going to be a terrible year for them. I feel, and Lamar Jackson, I feel sorry for Lamar Jackson too, because Lamar Jackson has to deal with their nonsense, their crap, their bull crap. So, but it's whatever, man. I mean, so I'm going to jump off right now, but I'm going to jump on back on later on. And, you know what I'm saying, I'll touch more bases on this, but I just really wanted to get on here and express my frustrations with the Baltimore Ravens organization, because y'all is shady as hell. Y'all shady as hell for doing that. You don't play with people's lives like that, man. Like, for real. So F the Ravens, F that entire organization for doing that. And I hope everything works out for Max Crosby. I'm not a Raiders fan. I'm a freaking Chargers fan. But you know what I'm saying? I play football and everything, and I know like how much work and effort and investment players put into their body, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally, physically, all of the above. And for the Ravens to do that, Max Crosby already pretty much like wired just like that. Like, I'm about to go give my soul to the Baltimore Ravens fan base right now. I'm about to go give my soul to the franchise. And then they just back out and just come up with some lame ass excuse. Oh, he felt his physical. No, he didn't. Even if he did, who cares? If they really, if I'm telling y'all right now, if they really wanted to keep Crosby, his physical would not even have came up. They would not even talked about his physical. They wouldn't have even talked about it. They did. There was regret in the fact that they gave up 2 first rounds. That's what it was. And then they go, and then less than 24 hours, they go inside Trey Hendrickson. Yo, they shady as hell, bro. They shady as hell, and something needs to be done to them, and something better be done. For real. All right, I'm out for right now.